Keys to success lie in the details. And once I started doing this, I not only earned more money, but I also grew more confident in almost every area and aspect of my life, whether it be personal, financially, like you name it. I don't know where you are in your life, but I honestly can't even remember making A's in school. Now, I might have made an A here or there, but definitely not consistently. And I also don't remember having an enormous amount of confidence, except for when I got into high school. Fast forward to today, though, I've started two businesses. I homeschool my kids. I put myself through nursing school. I became a registered nurse, and I've just done so many things that I didn't even think were possible for me at the time. So you do want to stay tuned to this. And what I want to let you know is let's plan together. So I'm all about sharing this information because it has ultimately transformed my life, and I've been able to achieve some phenomenal things by doing this. So my goal is to upload a video every single day from now through the end of July. So your goal might not be the same, but you can write down a goal. Let's plan together, let's lock in, and let's get it done. Also, if you have any questions for me, please visit my website, notanotherperfectmom.com, where you can send me a message there and, a brief description of like more intimate details, and I will respond to you there. So let's get into today's video. So you might not know this, but your money, your relationships, and the things you want out of life are greatly tied to your confidence, and they're greatly tied to the actions you take every day. So for instance, when I was in school, I remember lots of distractions, and I remember thinking so much about what other people thought. And if I catch myself today, because I know this, I really pay attention to it, and I like observe it, because I'm not perfect, like no one is. But if I catch myself doing this, I observe it, I take note of it, and then I correct it almost immediately, because I know the effects of what I'm going to share with you. So, like I said, when I was in school, I don't remember having a lot of confidence, and I certainly remember all the distractions and what people thought. The thoughts of those around you can greatly affect how much money you make, what you think about relationships, and ultimately what you think about yourself and what you're able to achieve in life. And you do not want the five closest people to you or the people in your surroundings to dictate what you want for your life, especially if you want much more. When I got into college, I no longer sat in the back of the classroom. I sat as close as I could to the instructor, not to get some praise from the teacher, and not to look like what do they call it, like a brown noser, or like the student with the apple. That was not my goal. My goal was, hey, I'm here for this. I need to be as close as I can to what I'm trying to get as possible. Minimal distractions, meaning all the people. Even if no one's talking to you, you're paying attention to people's hair, what they're wearing, if they're sneezing, whatever, anything can literally distract you. So get as close as you can to the message. For instance, if you're in college or in school, it can be like commonplace to sit towards the back to try to blend in, but that is the wrong thing to do. You need to get as close as you can to the instructor, to what you're trying to get. What's your goal for that class? What's your goal for your life? Tie it to that. Don't think about what are they going to think. I'm sitting at the front. Honestly, whenever you make that decision to sit at the front, like if we're talking about school or a meeting or whatever, immediately those thoughts of like what are they going to think kind of fade away. And I guess it's because you can't even see they or them. You're so close to what it is you're trying to get, you see nothing else. So that is honestly what helped me initially getting through college. Once I got into college, the ideas of sitting in the back, blending in, trying to be like everyone else literally went away. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get anywhere doing that. So I'm going to get as close as I can to the front. And that really helped me. I was able to focus on what my instructors were saying and finish school very, very successfully. Now, another way this helped me is, for instance, at church. I don't know if you're religious, but I am. I rely on God heavily for my spiritual nourishment. And even though I don't know the Bible cover to cover, I do know a couple of strong verses in the Bible that help me get through my everyday. In fact, I even have some taped into my car. Now, what that does for me at church is, even though it's church, and even though like everyone's dressed nice and they're smiling and there's worship music and there's a nice ambiance, you can still be distracted by the heads in front of you. What are they wearing? What are they thinking? How are they going to think about you standing up or clapping or not standing up? Eliminate the distractions. You're not even at this point focused on the pastor, what they're thinking. You're focused on what is it that you're trying to get from that message. Again, sit as close as you can to the front. Your anxiety about what people are going to think are really only going to affect you for the first 30 to 45 seconds that you're making your decision on where to sit. And this helped me so much. Even if I go into church and I'm in a great space and I'm in a good mood and I don't feel like there's anything I need to be like strongly praying for, I still sit in the front. It still works on the days where I'm not as strong in my faith and I really need some encouragement. I still sit at the front. And because of that distance from what I need and where I am, all the distractions are eliminated. It's like I focus and I tunnel in on the message. And like I said, this greatly helps me with my finances, my money, and my confidence because you learn that I'm not here for everyone else. I'm only here for me. And like not in a selfish way, but like what do I need to get from what I'm learning today? That can be in school, that can be in church. And again, as I got older, I started to understand that when I was in school, for instance, you kind of want to blend in, you don't really want to stand out, you don't really want to be talked about. And so you try to gravitate towards the back or middle, or where it's like a comfortable margin of where people are. And that's going to follow you into college, your job, your meetings, when you're at the store, it's going to follow you. That desire to be in the middle, to not be behind, to not be too far ahead, because what are they going to say? But that's honestly where you don't grow. And if you have goals in mind, they're not going to come alive as quickly as they would if you would just put yourself out there and get in the front. I paid attention to this again. That's why I said it's going to boost your confidence and your finances because in this public local community Zumba class, I was able to think back on this very valuable lesson. So I noticed that because it's local, it's pretty much, anyone from the community that saw this and wanted to go and wanted to get healthy or wanted to dance, whatever. But subconsciously, everyone, and I mean everyone, is afraid of being judged. And so this is what I noticed. The front of the class, the dancers are the strongest. I found myself in the middle towards the back. And then I noticed behind me against the wall, those attendees make the most noise. And it reminded me instantly of being in school. And you know what? What I had to tune in because, like I said, I'm not perfect. But when I do notice this in myself, I immediately correct it because I think, okay, what is it that I am here to get? Forget everyone else. Forget that I'm not a great dancer. Forget all those things. What do I want out of this dance lesson? I want to learn how to do a Zumba dance, like get the steps down. I want to increase my heart rate and I want to stay in shape and I want to have fun doing it. So what do I need to do? I need to move myself closer and closer and closer to the front because you begin to get tunnel vision on you and the instructor. And I know this sounds like, but how is it going to help me increase money? How is it going to make me more confident? Only for those 30 to 45 seconds when you're thinking about placement, where you're going to be, does it matter the most. That's the only time you're going to be really focused on the other people. And honestly, the further you separate yourself from people that are trying to float to the back, you forget, like you just don't even, the sounds like go away, the thoughts go away because the people that are in the front, they're focused, they're paying attention. And even if you're not getting the steps right, they don't even notice that you're not getting the steps right because they are focused on the instructor too. And this is going to boost your confidence every time you decide to move yourself closer to what, and that doesn't matter if you're in an office meeting. Try not to sit towards the back of the wall or like the door or the exit. Go as close as you can to the person talking, even if you don't have anything like to add or that you even may not even totally understand. Get close to where the distractions are eliminated, to where you can get what you came to get. Like I said, my goal is to upload a video every day from now through the end of July. I really have learned so much throughout my lifetime. I feel like I've done so much and I broke so many ceilings that I didn't even think were possible for myself. And I honestly just want to share that. I'll continue to post content related to homeschooling because that's what I'm doing. But I find that I'm most passionate about sharing tips and tricks that helped me go from somebody that was maybe not as confident, didn't have as much money as I'd like, and certainly didn't have the freedom or lifestyle that I like, to that person. I've done those things and now I'm on to bigger and more challenging goals, but I want to document what the power of God and the power of a plan and a goal can actually do. So from now through the end of July, my plan is to upload a video every single day. So let's lock in together. Let's take notes. Let's be intentional about what we're doing. Let's be intentional even with today's message. I hope it makes sense. Where we're sitting, where we're putting ourselves. Every time you go somewhere, I don't even care if you're ordering food, your food is not going to come as quickly, or you're not going to get served as quickly if you stand in the back of the line or towards the back of, like, if you go into a fast food or something like that and you're standing way back there, you got to get right up in the front. Okay, and not that you're going to cut somebody off that has already been standing and waiting, but you make it known that you're here to see what is on the menu and order what you're here to order. That's going to apply in every single area, and your money's going to grow because you're going to become more confident. Like I said, when you're in a meeting, you might not know every single thing that the meeting is about. You might not even be able to add anything like of value to that conversation, but you're going to now eliminate the distance between you and the person giving the information or asking the questions, to where you're going to be so locked in. And anyways, cheers to you. Cheers to you and your success, because I can literally feel you on your way to everything that you want. And that makes me so excited for you. But anyways, don't forget to visit notanotherperfectmom.com if you've got any questions for me. I do have a guide and a plan that I have used to increase my confidence, increase my money, help me figure out how to make more passive income. I've now gotten into real estate. So if you're the kind of person that's like, hey, can you help me get creative? Can you help me? This is my situation. This is where I'm at in life. I'm in school. I'm doing this. This is where I want to go. Can you work with me? Let's develop a plan so I can get there. And I'm literally so excited to help you. Visit me at my website. That's going to be the best place to reach me. And until next time, I wish you the best of luck. Do not put yourself in the back. In fact, put yourself in the front. Put yourself as close as you can in the front. I try not to even think about what I should not do. Replace that with what you need to be doing. But anyways, that's another video. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.